Good evening, I'm Rodney Dunigan. We do begin with breaking news tonight in East Columbus. Police are on the scene of a deadly shooting. Well, Bob, at this point, they aren't releasing that information, but they are speaking with everyone who is inside the home at the time, trying to gather as much information as they can. Now to a Fox 28 exclusive with a huge playoff game approaching. Dedicated Crew SC fans gathering with a big message. According to county records, these are problems that have been going on for some time, years in fact. The latest complaint just last week, and you won't believe what one guy says he found in his bag of candy. Looking ahead tonight, the fight continuing over tax reform. The latest plan put forth by Republicans sending shockwaves through colleges across the country. I want to give you guys some perspective of just how many bullets were fired in one section of the home. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 right here. Family members I spoke with were surprised that no one else was killed. All new tonight, the fight continuing over tax reform. The latest plan put forth by Republicans sending shockwaves through colleges across the country. Plenty of drivers think they can drive up to 9 miles per hour above the speed limit and not get a ticket. A march for peace. A Columbus church taking to the streets today, fighting back against violence. Members of Family Missionary Baptist Church coming together with the community to say enough is enough. That could be an understatement. Now, late this evening, both sides releasing statements to us, basically blaming each other for not getting a deal done. In the meantime, a number of fans around town coming to the realization that their favorite team may be gone pretty soon. This one will definitely make you mad. A Christmas Grinch makes off with the gifts for kids with life-threatening illnesses. Good evening, I'm Rodney Dunigan. Now, officials are scrambling to collect more items for kids before their Christmas party. Hospital officials across the country and right here at home calling on the FDA and drug makers operating in Puerto Rico to release more information about what other products might soon be in short supply. Some say the president of the Philippines is similar to President Trump. He's been described as unconventional. Our investigative team has been looking into these allegations since early September, in fact. Now, we've received a number of tips. This is Jeffrey Fisher's personnel file, pages and pages of information that we've been poring over, and we will continue to do that. And the organization was hit by crooks just 2 years ago. At this point, they're trying to replace those gifts that were stolen and look for a new office space. The owner tells us that's simply not the case. Now, we have been looking around the shop and we have not noticed any problems. All of this started when someone came in and started taking pictures of the dogs you see in these cages. Thank you, Rachel. And the storms are beginning to roll in. Rob Wells is following reports of damage. He's live tonight in Mobile Track. The fiercely loyal fans behind the Save the Crew movement asking season ticket holders to hold on. In fact, they're urging fans to go out and buy more tickets and ensure that Monfrey Stadium is packed. Gotta love that. And if you would like to help, the group encourages you to donate to your local shelter or get active and do something in your own neighborhood. For more information, click this story on our website, abc6onyourside.com. Gotta love that attitude. She loves dogs, squirrels, birds, cats, loves them all.
Somebody's got to take care of all the little creatures out there.
Yeah, and hopefully, you know, she can get as many as she can. And tonight is definitely not the night for those stray cats or dogs or anybody to be out there.
Yeah, that job a lot harder tonight.
Yeah.
It is.
And a lot of people are talking about this story tonight, including Green's neighbors. They say this is not the first time those 3 children have been left alone. We did a bit of digging into health department records and found out this theater has a history of problems dating back years. There'll be plenty of ghouls and goblins walking around local neighborhoods here looking to scare up some good treats. Although Halloween and trick-or-treating is plenty of fun for the kids, for parents, though, safety is always priority number 1. And public health experts also telling us tonight that knowledge is key. These families need to have the skills on hand to help their family members and loved ones dealing with addiction. The price varies depending on the product. They can range from as little as just $25 all the way up to $400. It really just depends on what option is good for you. A harsh new reality for Buckeye fans tonight as Clay Hall explains the now 11th ranked Buckeyes have few answers after that stunning 55-24 defeat. And we do have team coverage of the severe weather tonight. Rob Wells is live out on the roads in Mobile Track. But first, let's check in with Rachel Penton, who's been tracking these storms the entire night. And Rachel, family members and neighbors are waiting to hear the names of those killed in the shooting. Zach Hendrick is there for us tonight with the very latest. According to county records, these are problems that have been going on for some time, years in fact. The latest complaint just last week, and you won't believe what one guy says he found in his bag of candy. It's a movie premiere Bob Powell will remember for some time.
We sit down. Before we know it, we hear something scampering across the floor.
Not the sound you want right before the opening credits of Suburbicon.
A town of great wonder and excitement.
As gross it is, stay there. Put our feet up just because we're into this movie. And not a few minutes later, there was a mouse on the seat next to me eating my candy.
You heard that right.
I could hear the wrapper rustling around, and then I look over and sure enough.
He says a rodent took a deep dive in his bag of Sour Patch Kids.
Head first in the bag.
At that point, Powell headed to talk to management at AMC Lennox 24. He may have been surprised. Officials with Franklin County Public Health, not so much.
I mean, just because you have one violation or one critical violation doesn't automatically put you into our enforcement process.
Garrett Giozzi, supervisor of the food safety program, outlining for us a number of issues they've seen at this theater. And at this point, it is a pattern of issues with this.
It is. I mean, as you mentioned, we've cited this violation over the past several inspections.
We did a bit of digging into health department records and found out this theater has a history of problems dating back years. We're talking rodents, bugs, mouse droppings, you name it, and we're talking critical violations. Giozzi explains why they've never had issues with their license to operate.
This facility has been in compliance because they've been working to actively abate this nuisance or get rid of their pest problem.
In fact, AMC releasing this statement to us saying, "We are aware of the report and we are taking all necessary steps to address it. AMC takes aggressive and proactive pest control action, including a proactive inspection by a pest control company at AMC Lennox 24 every week."
Got out of there quicker than I've ever left a movie theater.
For Powell, it's simply not enough. He says the manager tried to ease his concerns and was nice, but he's not sure when or if he'll be catching another flick here.
He gave us a coupon for a free ticket and then offered us another movie in the theater, but at that point I just wanted to get out of the building.
And Franklin County Public Health will continue to monitor the situation here at this movie theater to make sure things are on track. In fact, they have another inspection set for tomorrow. Of course, we will keep you posted on that. Bob, you know, I spoke with a number of family members today, and they tell me they are simply devastated. They still can't understand why all of this happened. Now they're left to start the holiday season with this painful loss. 121. It marks much more than a number. 121, indicating a life lost. Adrian Scott, the latest murdered in the city of Columbus.
Why did this happen? Why did it happen, you know?
Loved ones still trying to come to terms with it. The 34-year-old, full of life, full of laughs, taken in an instant. The victim of a drive-by shooting here at this home along Hidden Spring Drive in Greenview Estates.
This is a loving church-going community. You know, we ain't never had a problem like this, and all of a sudden this started happening.
I want to give you guys some perspective of just how many bullets were fired in one section of the home. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 right here. Family members I spoke with were surprised that no one else was killed. 911 recordings giving us a glimpse of the frantic moments following the gunfire.
Hello?
911.
My brother's girlfriend got shot.
Scott taking a fatal bullet as she helped cook Thanksgiving dinner.
They were trying to kill everybody that was up in here.
Her father, too shaken up to speak on camera, did release this statement. Adrian was a loving, caring person who would never do anything to hurt anybody. We're taking this very hard, trying to understand why someone would do this.
Did you say innocent people get hurt? I mean, I don't understand people, you know.
121, Adrian Scott, the latest victim. Her life, not just a number. Her family, hoping no one forgets that. They certainly are. And at this point, police are not indicating if they have a suspect in this case. However, they are urging the public to come forward if they have any information. For now, reporting live in downtown Columbus, Rodney Dunigan, ABC 6 News. They swear by it, from autism, cancer, and the relief of everyday aches and pains. However, medical experts warn the use of these products should not be the only option. It's a realization no one is prepared for.
I saw about 14 doctors when I got my cancer diagnosis.
Laura Long struggled to find the right treatment options.
I felt like no one understood me.
After a double mastectomy, she opted against chemo and radiation therapy. Instead, taking a holistic treatment approach using agricultural hemp or CBD as an alternative. Now in remission, showing us her daily regimen.
We choose to use things that are natural.
She's not alone.
There's multiple different products to be able to help pretty much everybody.
Joseph Brennan says business is booming.
Most people come in with anxiety, pain, depression.
Brennan is the owner of Columbus Botanical Depot.
We've grown tremendously.
Brennan points out these products are considered dietary supplements. Cannabidiol, or CBD, is the part of the cannabis plant that doesn't get you high like the THC side of the plant. It's usually used for health reasons, not for recreation. Brennan says it may provide those natural healing effects without the buzz.
To me, it's amazing because I know where my brain was a year ago.
Ruben Ortega spending 20 years with unbearable pain from numerous injuries on the football field, leading to a dependence on painkillers. The use of CBD helping to taper him off opiates.
All of a sudden, the pain was gone and the cravings were gone.
The results for users may be positive, but the FDA points out that these products are not approved for the treatment, cure, or prevention of any disease. And they warn consumers to beware when purchasing or using any of these products. In fact, in October of this year, the FDA issuing warning letters to 4 companies in regards to health claims. The FDA issuing similar warning letters to CBD product makers in 2015 and 2016.
Wave hi.
4 years ago, we profiled the story of Dana Schaefer and her family. Forced, she says, to move to Colorado to find the right CBD treatment for her son Hunter. We reached out to see how the family was doing.
Say hi. Hi.
At the time, Hunter suffering from serious seizures. Doing better now. For a time, the family returning to Ohio, but since relocating permanently to Colorado. The family says, along with CBD access, a number of health and educational resources for their children, a big reason. Schaefer's relieved, though, that families in Ohio are getting a bit of help, but stresses more still needs to be done to give folks non-traditional methods.
It's not just the oil that we can use. You know, they have so many other options.
Long emphasizing to us that agricultural hemp has been a godsend for not only her.
We felt like he was dying.
But her 8-year-old autistic son, Luke, as well.
He was getting worse and worse, and we tried every kind of medication and every kind of doctor, and no one could help us.
Luke, also using CBD, is now getting better sleep. His behavior at home and school improving dramatically. Long, along with other advocates, admit it's not a cure-all. They do believe, however, it's a chance for those suffering to get a bit of needed relief. And something to make note of this evening, there's still plenty of research being done on the impact of CBD to your health. Advocates believe with more of the stigma being removed, more individuals and families will be able to get the help they may desperately need and they've been searching for. As always, you may want to check with your doctor or medical professional before considering any of these treatment options. Plenty of drivers think they can drive up to 9 miles per hour above the speed limit and not get a ticket, which is sometimes referred to as the 9-year fine, 10-year mine rule. But these stats we researched indicate that's not necessarily true. So is there an actual speed that triggers a ticket? We decided to find out. Along I-71 in Monroe County, drivers keeping Sergeant Troy Sexton and his post busy, to say the least.
What you got, Jeremy? 80, 81, 83? Okay.
The excuses endless. Number one, I'm running late.
Their lack of planning doesn't constitute my emergency, so I need you to leave earlier and plan ahead.
Many drivers across Ohio thinking they have a speeding grace period, so to speak. You know, that unwritten rule.
But I always thought that there was like a 10-mile grace period kind of thing.
Think again. At least one driver coming clean.
Don't have an excuse, and I'm not going to make one up.
Anybody that considers or assumes that they can go over the speed limit is wrong.
This, literally millions of pieces of data calculating speeding tickets issued by the Highway Patrol last year across Ohio. In Franklin, Murrow, Ashland, and Delaware counties alone, 8,453 tickets written last year. The stats indicating that speed trigger tends to be 15 miles per hour over the speed limit. That means most tickets are issued for going 85 in a 70, or 80 in a 65, or 70 in a 55. Sergeant Sexton will tell you,
1128, what was the speed?
Don't think that gives you free rein to test the limits.
80. Okay. I myself, and of course my guys, have checked people anywhere from 70, which is the speed limit, to 100 and 110 plus on 71. So it can get pretty ridiculous, and that's how people die.
Keep in mind, more than 1,200 speeding tickets written in Ohio were for driving 8 miles per hour or less over the posted 70 mile per hour limit. The list includes tickets for speeds of 76, 75, even 71. Sexton says speeding is speeding. He's seen firsthand far too many fatal wrecks, all thanks to drivers with a lead foot.
We all think in our own time, in our own mind, that it can't happen to us. It will, and it has.
So, although the vast majority of speeding tickets issued by troopers are for speeds faster than you may think, remember, it's always up to the discretion of the trooper or the police officer to possibly pull you over and send you off with that ticket. Rodney Dunigan, ABC 6 News.